Hey everyone, this is P4L, and in today's P4L review we'll be taking a detailed look at the previously kind of previewed TFcon exclusive MMC reformatted Cynicus, their Asterisk Mode. So this is their R12 Cynicus, but in the Asterisk Mode deco that was exclusive to TFcon. So I previously did a preview of this, but I didn't do a full review, so I thought I'd do that today for you. So just to get a quick look at packaging review, you have this nice slip cover that comes around, has some details about the reformatted Cynicus and Asterisk Mode, a little tiny Mastermind creation sign, and that's about it. One thing to note that's very cool about this figure in general, but also this deco, is that it features glow in the dark paint that glows kind of this neonish, green once it gets charged up. And I'm going to try to show that off as best as I can in this review. It's a little hard to see, but hopefully I can get it off. So once you get the slipcover off, you have a very similar package to what we got with the Azalea Asterisk Mode, and you get this kind of blackened out Cynicus. It's not just black though. If you look at it at different angles, you might not be able to see it, but there are highlights. So it's not just pure black. You see some kind of dark green, black. Has a little hue of dark green in here. So you can actually pick out the details of the render here, which I didn't notice at first, but pretty cool. And then on a little bio of Cynicus down here. On the back, there's really nothing, just this kind of artwork. You can open up the book style case, and then you'll see the full rendered version here in the black and kind of orange deco. All these orange pieces are the glow in the dark paint. And again, you can kind of look in there and see what you get. You get the same stuff that you got with the retail version, the original version, with the sniper rifle, the extra head and mask, as well as the handle for the alt mode. So that's really it for packaging review. Very nice as usual. So out of packaging, here we have Cynicus as well as his accessories, including his sniper rifle, which also is made up of two pieces, which we'll go into detail a little bit later. You also get a tiny extra head and a additional face mask, which is a reference to the character Voss, who this character homages in the IDW comics. The face mask and stuff is kind of like his little torture thing. I don't really read a lot of IDW. I'm not fully caught up yet, so yeah. The other things that I included are his instruction booklet, which also doubles as a comic, and this is issue 12. And I haven't been keeping up with all the issues. I have them, I just haven't read them, so I don't know the storyline. But I just want to comment that whoever they have doing these 3D comics is really kind of cool. You have these renders, and they bring characters in from their entire MMC kind of line, which is really nice. The instructions take you through robot to combine mode. Well, I guess not combine mode, alt mode, the gun mode, sniper rifle mode. In addition to that, you get two bio stack cards. When speaking to the MMC marketing rep, the reason why there are two is that they were actually unsure if one of them was going to be completed in time. I think it was a plastic one. They weren't sure if this was going to be completed in time, so they ordered from two factories. Same information, slightly different layout. It looks like they were cut slightly differently, and then the material is different. So this one is plastic, and this one is a kind of cardboardy piece. But yeah, that's about it on those accessories. Let's go ahead and get into the actual accessories that come for the robot. So you can actually unpeg this rear section from the sniper rifle to get a small hand rifle, I guess. That's what you want to call it, or handgun. Hand rifle. What the heck is a hand rifle? And then you get this other, I guess, gun, but you can actually kind of make it look like a blade, which I've noticed. It doesn't really peg in that well into the hand though, which is the only downfall. But it's kind of cool that you can kind of make it look like a blade. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it definitely is an option. Or you can peg it in using this handle and have like kind of a big shotgunny part and a little handgun. And I think the pegs on these, because they're actually tapered, so the thicker part at the top I think is for 5mm and the bottom is for 3mm. So you can have them very weaponed out, like so. The alternative is that you can also combine them, as I showed you before, into a larger sniper rifle, and then you can have them kind of holding it at this end with the pistol handle, and then using this as a kind of side grip here. And I like it how it also has the I forget what they call these, kind of the mount or stands, sniper stand. So if he's lying down, you can get kind of a more actual propped up look. He's kind of flying there, but you get the idea. And the head has great articulation that allows you to do this kind of upward looking pose. So let's get rid of this real quick. And we'll take a quick look at the extra heads and faces. So the extra head is kind of the hollow head. You'll see that he has like no eyes that you can see into it. And then this little face piece is kind of the piece that coincides with this, I believe. It's supposed to be the when he takes off his face, and it has the spikes on the inside. So I don't really know much about this character. I know he's part of the DJD. I think it's a Decepticon Justice division or something like that. But yeah, that's really it. The way you pop it on and off is just off of the ball joint. I'm not going to show that because it's very easy. So let's go ahead and get into the actual robot mode review. So the robot mode is very lanky, very much similar to the comic iteration of the character Voss, who is pretty lanky and thin. He does rely on a lot of ball joints and ball pegs for his articulation. Like I said, he does feature a lot of nice golden paint, as well orange paint, as well as some golden paint on the top near his head. So let's actually go into this head sculpt. He has nice like red eyes. It looks like it's light pipe, but it's actually not. And that part just fell off. This is just the handle that stores on the backpack. But yeah, it's actually a really nice face. Not a whole lot of paint on the mask itself, aside from the crest and the earpieces. But it is a nice head sculpt. And I like the little angled crest or everything like that. Looks very nice. He has a lot of articulation on the head because it's on a ball joint, but also the neck is kind of on a swivel, which is also part of transformation, but gives you a lot of ability to pose his head. As far as other articulation goes, he has shoulders that are on like a double, on a ball peg into the shoulder. So that allows you to get a lot of up and down here, as well as some rotational. And then it's on a hinge here on the outside, so that gives you another point of articulation there. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, ball jointed wrist, which you can kind of even fold in like that. I'm not sure why you would need to do that. It's not for transformation or anything like that, but you do have that option. Let's see here. On this hand, he has this kind of handle that's for his alt mode. You can just kind of tuck it away however you'd like. He does have, I'm not sure what, it looks like it's a ball joint or ball peg for the upper body, so he gets a lot of range of motion there. And then he has, I think, a swivel here, yeah, a hinge joint there that gives you some articulation on the ab crunch, but also a ball joint inside here, right in here at the crotch. So you get I guess that's the only joint here, because I forget that this is actually pegged into place. So yeah, this is the point of articulation for the waist. And this little handle that keeps falling off, I'm just going to move it off to the side. You can peg it in onto the backpack using these pegs. But that's just for storage. You don't really need it. There's no real point to having it on. Going back to articulation, he does have a swivel for the hips. And then his hips do go out to the side. Not much though, just because of the fact that he has this kind of weird bolt thing there. If you want more, you can actually raise this up and then swivel it out and then rotate at the thigh joint. So it gives you an illusion of the same joint there, even though you're kind of cheating to get it to do that. It has kind of a mushroom peg that you swivel around at the thigh. Knee joint, getting about 90 degrees, a little bit more. Knee swivel. The ankles are on, or the feet are on this kind of joint here on the back. It swivels down, so you get a lot of inward, not a lot of outward, just a little bit, but enough. Then you have the heel on a swivel here. Same thing with the toe. And they are independent from each other, or you can move them in kind of in unison if you'd like. So yeah, that's really it for articulation. I don't think I missed anything. I guess if you want to talk about weapon articulation, up here he kind of has these weird shoulder mounted cannons. They kind of peg in. There's a peg here that pegs into there, but you can actually bring that off of that, and it's on a ball joint, so you can get some movement there. Kind of reminds me of like the Predator shoulder cannons. Yeah, but that's it, I believe, for articulation. Oh, these little swivel things here, they're just on the shoulder. They can rotate around, and they're a pin joint that goes around as well. Not pin, but a rotational joint, I guess, whatever you want to call it, up here, so you can rotate those around and pose them however you'd really like. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to go. I think they're supposed to come up to the front. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a quick comparison as far as height. Let's go ahead and bring in MMC's Azalea. Scales really well with her. I still really like this figure, even though it is a little fiddly. I think the same is kind of true of this figure as well. Because it has a lot of ball joints, there's a lot of range of motion, but they all kind of move kind of in all together at once in unison. You move one thing. If you want to move the shoulder, it's hard to restrict just that one joint without holding everything else in place. So yeah, that's really it, I think, for robot mode review. Let's go ahead and get this guy transformed into alt mode. So let's get to transforming Cynicus. Make sure you get all the weapons and stuff out the way. If you have this handle pegged in, just unpeg it. And we're going to go ahead and start with the upper body. That's where I like to actually start. The first thing I'm going to do is come up to the backpack, and it's tabbed in on both sides. These teeny tiny tabs here and here tab in to the back of the neck. So just remove one side and the other. I'm going to go ahead and actually transform this all the way. You're going to want to clear this. You're going to want to extend that. And you're going to want to fully expand it. So you're going to rotate this entire backpack piece down on the arm. And you're going to want to rotate this point 180 degrees. And then rotate this 90 degrees. So it looks kind of like this, all expanded out. Once you do that, we're going to go around to the front and deal with these two chest and crotch pieces. They both rotate 180 degrees. You're going to need to do it at some point, and I feel that doing it now will actually allow you to see what I'm trying to do a bit better. And you're going to want to split the abdomen piece lengthwise in the abdominal area. It's a bit easier to grab from behind. Just go ahead and unpeg them and then rotate them back on those ball joints. And that will show you kind of the inner skeleton. What you're going to need to do is collapse that, and you're going to rotate the ball joint forward while collapsing at that hinge. And you get kind of a weirdly proportioned Cynicus now. On the back, we're going to rotate the head and then swivel down on the neck hinge to kind of get him looking at his own butt. And then you're going to close up those ab pieces kind of around the head, like so. At this point, I want to make note that you want to rotate on that ball jointed hips so that the hips kind of rotate back like that. You're going to need that extra bit of clearance later, I think, when you want to peg these legs in to the backpack. So for the legs, we're going to rotate the hips 90 degrees, but just the hips, which means you're not hips, the thighs, which means you're going to rotate the thighs and then rotate the knee joint back. And why we're going to need to do that is because this slot here and this peg hole here, they're going to accommodate these tabs that we untab from the back of the neck, and this little set of tabs or posts that were part of the backpack as well. So you're going to want to rotate that all the way through. Let's see if I can show it here. You're going to tab in one side, tab in that side too, and then before you get too far, we're going to rotate these little calf pieces down, and these make up like kind of a handle for 5mm and 3mm hands. And then we're going to bring in this piece, rotate it this way or position it this way, and it has tabs on either end. So now you have these three sets of tabs, kind of there, and there on one side, and then you're just going to bring in the other side, the other leg, and make sure everything tabs correctly on both sides. It's kind of hard to see, and I'm trying to do this on camera, which is a bit of a challenge. Alright, let's see if we can get this done without too many issues. Did I get it? I think I got it. There we go. Alright, so once you have that done, you're going to also have a little tab here on that kind of shoulder cannon piece that tabs into the crotch. So this is the back half of the gun, and just make sure these feet are kind of aligned straight with each other. Alright, so then we have the hardest part done. The next part is we're going to take this, if you had it's a little bit easier to show with the handgun separated. What you're going to do is fill in this gap with the handle. You're going to basically kind of shove this in. And you got to make sure it's seated really well, because the next part is you rotate the arms and shoulders all the way up like that. Rotate at the bicep 180 degrees. And then using that double jointed elbow, you're going to come back around and use the hand to grab this peg here. It's going to sit up like that. Again, make use of that double jointed elbow joint to be able to do that. Same thing on the other side. And you'll know you're doing it right if these two ball socket and this hinges kind of make a straight line there. And then on the inside of the arm, you have tabs that fit into each side of the gun. And that kind of secures that into place, in addition to the plug-in piece that went into where the head was. And these little rotational pieces, these small kind of pieces, you can just do whatever you want with that. And then get this handle kind of down, and then you can plug the front part of that gun back into the handgun. And with that, you have Cynicus in his alt mode, which is a very nice looking rifle. You do get to see some of the hands, and these are clearly the feet, the lower legs. So it's not a really complex transformation. There are just a lot of tabs and sort of fiddly bits that you just need to be aware of. But yeah, overall it looks really nice. Like I said, you can use this handle here with these two tabs for Feral Rex. I'm not going to bring him out just because he's just so massive and big. If you don't want to use that, you can remove this handle and use these pegs here. Or if you don't want to use these pegs, you can rotate this up to give you the room for the fingers to wrap around for Feral Rex. You also have this other handle up front. It shows it like this. It makes more sense to me for it to be like this, and this is kind of be the hand guard. You can also rotate this rifle stand. They're on ball joints, so you get some posability there. This makes up kind of the scope, which was the shoulder cannons. And that's really about it. I wish it was a little bit more solid in the midsection, because it still has that ball joint. But overall, it's still a really solid. You're not gonna have it fall apart on you. But that section here is a little bit looser than I would like. It was just one ball joint in there. All right, so that's really it for alt mode. Let's go ahead and get them transformed back. So we're just going to do the opposite. I actually like starting at the top here when we go backwards. Just unpeg the arms from the gun. Just pull that out. I'm just going to leave it like this. If you want, you can separate the handgun. Come around here. Separate the legs. Untab the scope piece from the crotch. And untab both halves and just kind of extend it out like so. Get rid of this piece, fold in the handles into the calves, rotate the legs and the thighs so that they're positioned correctly. We're going to go ahead and kind of extend the inner skeleton. Go ahead and split the ad pieces that were on back, rotate them forward. One important thing to note here is when you sandwich these back together, there's actually a small indentation right here that accommodates these two small tabs on either side of the kind of inner skeleton. So just make sure that those are situated and tabbed into place correctly. Otherwise, you're going to have a mistransformed figure, and the whole midsection is not going to be as solid as it should be. Go ahead and rotate the head back, forward, and around. Just get the arms positioned the correct way. You're just going to rotate them 80 degrees at the biceps. Kind of fold this back around however you'd like. Rotate the crotch pieces around and the chest piece around. And then the backpack, you remember we have to collapse it back up, so it's going to rotate up. Well, actually, first let's rotate this 180 degrees, and then this is going to kind of collapse or fold up like this. This piece kind of sits into a little gap here, a groove here. This is going to rotate, and that circular piece here is going to go into that tab, like so, or post. And then making use of those small tabs again, going to the back of the neck. Get one side in, and then just apply pressure to get the other side in. And then you can bend this piece here. This piece has to extend first before you can fold it around 90 degrees. And there you have it. There is Voss back in robot mode. It's much easier going back this way. Less things to worry about, the tabs and everything like that. But a quick and easy transformation back. So before I get into final thoughts, I did want to show off the glow in the dark feature, and how it works is all this orange paint has to absorb enough light, and it should only take a couple minutes. Alright, I've tried to capture the glow in the dark feature on this guy on camera numerous times. This is kind of the best I can get. Hopefully this gives you an idea. It's not as bright as it is in person, but this should give you an idea of what you're going to see. You just have to charge it up, not even for that long. As long as you have, like, I found that incandescent light bulbs work better than fluorescent. But yeah, this will give you kind of an idea of what you'll be seeing It's not as bright as it is to the naked eye, like what I'm seeing right now, but it's just really hard to capture the glow-in-the-dark features on this guy. But yeah, that's really it for the glow-in-the-dark feature. It's a very nice feature that they included, something different. So they've been doing kind of these Nemesis-like repaints for exclusives for the past couple years, and I think they're nice. So if you have like the dark azalea, the stealth azalea, I think that's what it's called, or the Neo Rex that was also available at the Singapore Con as well as TFcon. This guy's going to kind of fit right into that collection or that display. I like that they did something different, that they're trying something new as opposed to just doing the standard repaint. Because the glow-in-the-dark paint is something that is hard to get done right, and obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive to get something like this done. But I like that they're trying to experiment with something, give people something a little bit more fun factor, something more unique than just a regular repaint for an exclusive. So yeah, I think that's it for the review. A very nice figure. If you're an IDW reader and you like the DJD, I can definitely see why you want to pick this guy up. It was selling for $90 at the con. If you want to pick him up afterwards and you weren't able to pick it up at the con itself, Toy Dojo, the my sponsor, will have some. They have it on pre-order. I'm not sure if they're sold out or not, but they also have a limited quantity that they're selling on the site. So go ahead and click that link in the description below. If you have any comments or questions, or if I got something wrong, go ahead and leave a comment in the video comment section. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up if it helped you out at all. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, but let me know why and what I can do to improve. As you can see, I have a new studio setup, or slight background change, and I'm trying to get some more lighting in here. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with my news and reviews, go ahead and click the subscribe button floating around here, or follow me on Facebook at P4L Reviews. Alright, so that's it for today's review, everyone. Hope this was helpful, and hope you have a good one.